I started off what I thought was the Highlands, but this is Megalania Bay. So I immediately got out of there. Didn't see one, luckily, till like later when I came back. Made it all the way to Red Obelisk and grabbed Jack. And while I was on my way over here, I saw this Alpha Carno. So I thought, maybe Jack can kill an Alpha? But I am giving myself a little bit of a handicap, just because we steamrolled through the center by immediately tossing out my RG and like destroying everything. I'm only allowing myself to use Jack for at least a little while until we get like a flyer or something that makes it to where I'm allowed to use my other tames. I went out searching for crystal. I never found it, but I did find some in a drop, so I made the spyglass and all of that. And decided to build in my favorite waterfall area. So day 61, we started working on the base inside the waterfall, where I pretty much always build on this map. So here's a little montage, a little bit of base building. I definitely did not finish on this day at all. There was a lot to get done. But I got a little bit close to it. I went out exploring, and I'm pretty sure it has a unicorn. It is. So I went and grabbed the carrots and got to the unicorn. Found a jerboa in the desert. I wanted a shoulder pet, so I got it. And it took me most of the day to find where I could get some crystal. And later on I found out that there's some right next to where my base is. And I never knew about it. Grabbed a Dodic so that I could get a whole bunch of stone ready to go. Fed it, and of course it got hit by a terror bird. I made sure everything was fine, and then it got hit. But it wasn't super bad on taming effectiveness, so I went and did it anyway. I believe the end of the day, I put down a fabricator, and I called it for that night. Day 62, I finished up building the base before I went out and did some more exploring. Decided to put a gate at the front of the waterfall, just in case. Made a generator. And a grill. I did lots of farming. Went out to the desert to grab an Anki because I need a lot of metal to do what I want to do. Found this Tapejara while out and about, and it was a decent level, so I went ahead and grabbed it. Tamed. Turned out to be a 217. Which it doesn't get much use later. Found this fun colored thorny dragon. I know it was horrible, but I needed a thorny dragon for wood, and this would be the start of getting a breeding pair because I really liked the colors. Put down a fridge, an egg incubator, did lots of grinding in between, a second smithy because mine was full of stuff, knocked out an actually good thorny dragon, grabbed another Anki. I did like the red spikes. Found a 135 Dodic. Knocked that out. Went to pick up the Anki. Came back to pick up the Dodic. Got home and I started breeding. And I got several mutations on the Ankis. And somehow always it was on the spikes. So I ended up with 3 of them with all different colored spikes. And I thought that was good, so I left it there. But I did like all 3 of them, so I kept them. I found this cool colored moss chops, so I tamed her. And then I went to the Wyvern Trench and got a whole bunch of eggs. None of which were fantastic, but they're wyverns, so you can't really complain about a wyvern. Ended up finding an ice wyvern egg. Horrible level, but I am gonna try to grab everything new on every map. Well, I am gonna grab everything new on every map. So, new wyvern means I have to get one. And I went out and tested it. It is not very good. Went to the redwoods and found 2 otters. Sadly, not a breeding pair. But I got them both anyway. Found some veggie cakes in a drop, and one of the ovis was a 150, so why not? And then the best one outside of that ended up being a 127. So, not great. I think it was an 85. Went out to tame a vulture. I will need one later. So I got a breeding pair of those. And I did like this red one, so I went ahead and grabbed it. Found out you can get cactus sap with wyverns. Did not realize that, so I got a whole bunch of them. And while doing that, I saw this 145 Thyla. Of course, you gotta have a good Thyla. Everybody likes those. Got it all knocked out. Realized I was out of cryopods. And then I found the opposite gender of a pretty bad one. But decided to get it anyway. Realized I was out of cryopods and flew all the way home to grab 2 of them. And on the way back, both were tamed and ready to go. Ended up in the cave on day 63 to grab the artifact of the immune. Very, very dark in here. I did bring my otter, so I got 4 of them. This was the end product of the thorny dragon that I got. Started breeding Thylas. Grabbed the artifact of the brute, and then I went to the obelisk to check if I even needed it, and I didn't, so I just threw it out. Went to the Ice Queen cave and killed the Ice Worm Queen. Grabbed all the loot that I could get, which apparently wasn't that good. Then I grabbed the artifact of the pack and made my way out. Once I got out, I saw this Baryonyx that I decided to knock out. It was a level 140, so can't say no to that. Then I went back to the Wyvern Trench. Got my artifacts displayed. And then I went to make a whole ton of cryopods because I needed a bunch of them. Put down a chemistry bench. Day 65. Weird running animation, so I had to stop there. Came to the jungle to get the artifact of the strong. Put that down on a pedestal. Then I realized I needed to make more of them. So I got enough obsidian for all 10, well, 11 artifacts. I did decide that I was gonna go back and get that one that I already had. Went to the cave to get the artifact of the cunning because I didn't have that one when I got the first artifact. I couldn't get up. I did end up going back to get the brute just to have one to display. I know now I need to move it to a different spot, but I'll do that later. Found this cool colored Halloween lightning wyvern because this was during the Halloween event. Just decided randomly to knock out a Dimorphodon and it ended up being a level 150. And I decided that I wanted to use aloes for the boss. So I started getting them knocked out. Perfect shot on an RG. It was 140, and it was like the opposite colors of the ones that I already have. So I said, why not? I love RGs. They are my favorite. RGs and Sarcos. But Aloe was tamed. RG was tamed. Then I made a griffin trap, because that was the last tame I needed from this map that I don't have yet. Carefully place the trap to where I can get out of it. Didn't mean to do that, but I did it. Put the door, and then it was off to find a griffin that was okay enough to tame. Apparently, griffins are very hard to find a decent level, and there's only like 1 or 2 at a time on my server, so I found a level 90, and that was the best I got. So I knocked it out and tamed it. And then I got the dossier to have a griffin. Yay. I got it. Brought it back, put it at home, finally had enough metal for an industrial grill, and then I darted it as soon as I placed it down. Decided to go down to the Tuso Trench to try to get the artifact. My baryonyx did not make it, so I tamed a basilow or 2 and got them breeding. I got 1 basilow, went back in the trench, it didn't make it, so I came back and got another one. That I made sure was full health. Somehow I always made it out of the trench, but my tames did not. But I finally got one full health, ready to go in the trench. That was not too bad, and I had been working on trying to kill this alpha the 2 times I was down there, which is why my tames probably didn't make it. But I finally got it killed. Then I went back for the artifact. Placed it on the pedestal, and went day 67. I went back into the ice cave to try to get some better loot. Then I went to the lava cave because I had done a lot of preparations for day 68 and was finally what I thought was prepared for this thing. I brought in like 76 rockets and 7 rocket launchers and still did not have enough. So luckily my RG hits like 200 per hit on the rock golem, so I was able to get it down enough for me to shotgun it because I wanted to be the one to kill it. Somebody told me the labyrinth is best used with a Megalania, so I tamed one of those. Then on day 69 there was a Giga outside my base, so I got it trapped and probably shot 300 trank arrows into it to get it knocked out. Then I finally made an industrial cooker so that I could get a bunch of med brews going so I can go through the labyrinth cave. And that's what we did. Went through the very dark Labyrinth Cave. And the button thing is where I used the Megalania to get up there so I could skip the jumping puzzle because I kept falling. Made it in, got the Hunter artifact. Nope, Clever. And threw out my otter, waited for 30 minutes to finally get through. Went all the way down, sacrificed one of the vultures I tamed. Then I went through and killed all the wolves and bears. And I'll show you the entire thing, because they didn't spawn at the end, or if they did, I couldn't find them. But I did end up getting through it all and finding everything I needed to kill in order to get the artifacts. I didn't realize they like jump and level every time you need to kill them. So like this bear I think was level 200, 250, 200. That's crazy. I didn't know they did that. Here's the one I couldn't find. There was a wolf somewhere. I heard it several times, but I couldn't find it. And then it found me. But the spirits had calmed. I went to get the artifacts, and then I sat there for another 20 minutes again in order to get them on the otter. So there's the devious and the massive. Displayed them all because I realized I needed a scuba tank for this part of the cave on the left side. Got the artifact of the Skylord, threw out my otter, made it to this part again, and realized I didn't have to do that. I already got all the artifacts I needed, so I just left. Displayed the artifacts. And then it was tribute hunting time. I realized that I did not have a lot of them. I was finished with the Megalania toxin and the shark and the Bronto. So I went out and got a ton of the rest of what I needed on day 70, but I still didn't have enough, so I will have to continue this past day 70. And you will see that in the next episode. Will we beat Ragnarok on 71? You'll just have to find out next time. Oh, I forgot. I went to record most of the footage, and when I went to click stop recording, I noticed that I wasn't recording, and I got some Uteranus's. Part 71 starts out going and getting all of the tributes I need for the Ragnarok bosses, and leveling up my Allosauruses, because I am trying to use those for the boss because of the pack buff. So, going through the desert, getting all the thylaclaws, killing death worms as I walk back, leveling up everything to about 250, 252 max. And then on to the next one. Decided to go to get all the rest of the Spino sales I need, because Spinos are also really good for leveling up. And after I got everything and leveled everything, I started the Gamma boss. Just to see if these aloes were good enough. I did Gamma first, even though I could have done Alpha. So, let's do it. And I am going to go ahead and show the entire thing. So, this was Gamma. Enjoy. I noticed the dragon had landed, so I decided everybody go ahead and kill that first. And we absolutely shredded the dragon, as you can see. I put up the the heads and the flags, and off to do beta. And I'm not going to show you us completely loading in like I did last time, but I will show the entire fight again. I made sure everything was healed before I went back in, but I didn't take a whole lot of damage, so it wasn't that hard. I had enough meat from the boss fight itself to heal everything, because it really didn't do a whole lot of damage. But here is the entire beta fight. The dragon finally landed, so I went and whistled everybody onto the dragon. Just like last time. Less shredded, but still pretty quickly got the dragon down. Now just for the manticore. And once he landed, it really didn't take that much longer. These rock golems are definitely in the way of everybody, though. And they're not doing us any favors. There we go, he finally landed. And we got him down. I put up those trophies. Grabbed the rest of the artifacts. Healed everybody. And off to Alpha. It got real dark. There we go. Struggled a little bit to get on the UD, but we made it. It's fine. And he landed again. No. Get all the griffins. And it got real hard to see in here with all the attacks coming out. That dragon is just pelting us with fireballs. I saw the dragon was on the ground, so I whistled everybody. Because I would like to get the dragon out of the way before we worry about the manticore. And you can see a couple of them started dying. I think I ended up with like 15 or 16 out of the 19 that I brought. So there's 2 down. Dragon's still shredded. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. Oh, I lost more than I thought I did. There's 6. Man. Six of them got killed. So I ended up with 14. Got all of the trophies that I got on this map. All the artifacts. The other 2 trophies over there. And the flags up top.